Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is God Loves Couture. Yeah, I'm in relax mode. I just wanted to hop on and we need to have a continuation of our last conversation, which we talked about colorism. Okay, so this topic, I'm going to take it up a notch because we had an example that really played out in real time where we start now to get into featurism. Okay, so in per that last video where we talked about conundrum of colorism, and this is my dog in the background. She want to start up when I get the video going. She literally ran back in. Per the last video of conundrum of colorism, I told y'all about my experiences being a chocolate sister. See, I try to show y'all in some natural light so you can see chocolate sister. And then per this video, we're talking about featurism, where depending on what features you have, especially as a Black woman, and the examples that I put in the thumbnail was Naomi Palula, who's from Zambia, a 37-year-old lawyer who just posted her picture up, and she got cyberbullied because people felt a way about her posting her picture with, she has a large nose. Her nose, some people would say, is an Afrocentric nose. She's from Zambia. And she even makes note that people have told her that she should get, maybe, has she thought about getting plastic surgery? And she said she thought about it, but then she thought like, well, no, because that's my father's nose. Her nose is her father's nose. There's another content creator that always teases about, like, on Pop the Balloon, when this person was doing their reviews about a woman's looks, and we're always under the microscope of a symmetric face and your nose and your lips and what makes a feminine face. And so especially when you are dark complected. Now, if you also have the dark complexion like Naomi, like I do, and you have certain features, if your nose is wide, then people like to put people in categories, or women in categories, based on they're not as beautiful compared to someone else, or compared to a smaller nose woman, or maybe a light-skinned woman, which we see in the thumbnail. I put you Glorilla next to her because Glorilla has the same nose but of a different complexion. And I thought it was interesting how the storyline rolled out with her, in that her name was brought up in a conversation between Mariah the scientist and her boyfriend who was in jail. And he goes on to say, and they both laugh about how she's unattractive and how he would never talk to her. And to me, in my mind, I was thinking he probably did try to talk to her. But all this to say about featurism, in that who depends on who has the feature, right? And so there are some people who give women their worth based on what they look like, what the skin tone is. And as a woman, we're always compared to one another, and we're all beautiful. I said this in the last video. Women, I believe, are beautiful in all sorts of ways, but it's just, even with women with makeup, we try to give ourselves value and worth through putting on makeup, putting on certain clothes, certain shoe brands, you know what I'm saying? And so nothing wrong with those things. I like those things, but that is not our worth, you see? And so we're always being rated. Y'all know that content creator who's no longer here with us, who I believe started that whole rating system of she's a 2, she's a 3, she's a 4. And so there again, with that value system of trying to, I feel like, compare women to one another, and basically to say this kind of woman can get these benefits, pretty privileges, and others are not. And I just wanted to do this upload because I want you to know that regardless of what you look like, your self-worth is what you give yourself. Self-worth is how you see yourself and how you perceive yourself and how you value yourself, okay? Regardless of what you look like, I believe all human beings deserve decency. They deserve respect, okay? But sometimes as women, we don't even respect ourselves. We don't even give ourselves the self-worth. And I have to read you this comment that Naomi wrote when people came for her and she had different interviews. And I love what she said, because she says, I really, really want people to see God. I want people to see confidence. I'm not aesthetically beautiful person. I'm not, and that's okay. But I love myself and I can be myself. And with that is a certain level of beauty, because there's a light that everyone has and deserve to shine. I totally agree with that. I don't know if you guys see like the trends, even with plastic surgery, where everybody is getting the same nose, same Whoville nose, don't fit your face. You know, and it's kind of like, sometimes I think it's like a dismiss to God or a slap in the face to God, because I won't ding women for wanting plastic surgery, because I understand we all are playing the same somewhat beauty Olympics in different ways, just different levels, right? And so if she has a large a nose that maybe is not proportioned to her face, like Patti LaBelle, I understand how, okay, you know, I want to have self-esteem. I get that. But self-worth and self-esteem are not the same. And so I just really like that. I had to put Naomi in it because I see so many videos about pretty privilege and who got it and who don't. And she defies the odd in saying that I'm not going to go cut on myself and I'm not going to get on nobody's table, and I still have self-esteem. I still have self-worth. I have value, because she values herself. It's not based on what people say. And I understand we get validated by other people, but your self-worth tells me a lot about how we carry ourselves, what we talk to ourselves about, who we allow to speak into our lives. I put Alandria next to her because it goes to show you that Alandria is beautiful. I'll say it again. Alandria is bad. The lady's banging. When Alandria first, when I first saw Alandria on Love Island, I thought Alandria was actually Nigerian. And I thought Shelly was African American, only to find out that Shelly is, what did they tell me? Haitian, and Alandria is from Alabama. And I just thought, like, isn't it crazy how our features tie us all to each other? Like, both of them are beautiful women, but there are women who feel like because she has that dark skin, rich, beautiful skin, high cheekbones. And then guess who's next to her in my thumbnail? I put Mariah the Scientist. To me, in my opinion, when I put those pictures next to each other, they, to me, have the same features. They have high cheekbones, small eyes, and small noses. They have very similar features, but their skin tones are different. And so again, according to Eurocentric beauty standards, Mariah the Scientist would be the one that is more considered more desirable according to Eurocentric beauty standards, because her small nose, her light skin, and all of that. And we know certain groups esteem that more than others. But I also thought it was interesting that Naomi, I read another article with Naomi, and she talked about how certain parts of, I don't know if it was Africa or certain tribes, Naomi is very petite. I think she's short, and I think she's a petite sister. And so she talks about how they told her pretty much, you don't have enough meat on your bones. I'm from Compton, California, and I remember them telling me the same thing. Like, you didn't have the junk in your trunk and you're up and down, and so you don't have that peach. And I'm sorry, y'all, I just refuse to get that BBL, or yeah, especially that BBL for people who, again, I don't think men are under the same microscope, and you really have to show me the return of investment when we get all these procedures. I understand it makes you feel better, but some procedures, like the BBL just kind of makes you think like, wow, Sarah Barton was the woman who had that naturally. They raped her, they beat her, they did all kind of things. I think I read somewhere that Sarah Barton had diseases. They put her in a museum. Okay, that's how crazy beauty trends are. And again, I wanted to just do this upload to show you that Mariah the scientist is the one that's, quote, the most desirable. Okay, depending on who you ask, I understand that, but most desirable among maybe black men, among all men. A beautiful woman to me is a beautiful woman, no matter what. But this video is to show you that self-worth has nothing to do with your beauty. Okay, your self-esteem can be influenced by that, but your self-worth is the value you assign to yourself. Mariah the scientist was caught on the phone with her prison bae, okay, a young thug who was in prison having conversations about Glorilla and laughing and kiki with him. And I felt a type of way because I thought, now this goes to show you that even with her, Mariah, they say, has both African-American parents, that maybe she does feel away or feel different or feel othered by black men, but the black man that she's talking to is a very chocolate dark-skinned black man who's in prison, who has 6 kids, I read. Okay, I could have these things wrong because I don't follow these people who who are called Mariah the Scientist and Young Thug. I don't follow them. Okay, I don't follow rap world, but I do hear things, right? I understand them. I just thought it was interesting that the man that she was kikiing with has 6 kids in prison and cheating on her while in prison, okay? And yet she's kikiing on the phone. And so to me, in my eyes, I don't think she has or had a very high self-esteem to be dating such a man who has all these things going on, dealings with the court, dealings with crime, dealings with multiple children, okay? And cheating on her while being desirable or the preference, so some people speak. So again, this is not to disparage anyone, but just to go to show you that we are all made in God's image, and we have a tendency as women to try to give ourselves worth through makeup, through hair, through clothing, through our bodies, through the BBLs, through the boobs, okay? Because we're trying to show some value system to be desirable to a group of men. And some of that I understand because women like to be attractive to men, okay? I get it, right? We also, I believe, see ourselves, we try to give ourselves worth through marriage, through the man that's on our arms, and all those things are fleeting. Those things are great. You know, marriage is great. A heterosexual woman is supposed to be attracted to a man. Those are all natural, but they will not it will not give you worth, is what I'm trying to say. They can't give you worth, okay? Because God is the one who created you. He is the one who gave you your innate value and worth, was because your identity is found in him. Once you find your identity in Christ, which is the confidence that I think Naomi was talking about, is when I think a woman's true beauty will start to peak and shine and radiate. Those who look to God, their skin radiate, their beauty radiates, because that is their value, that is their identity. So yeah, y'all, I understand this whole conversation with the whole featurism, but at the end of the day, if you get your beauty through plastic surgery, you get your beauty naturally, your value is your value, your worth is all found in Christ. So I hope that helps. Let me know your thoughts. Please like, subscribe, comment to the channel. I'm here for the comments. We don't always have to agree. Y'all school me in the comments sometimes. So let me know your thoughts. Bye.